Good day everyone. Long time no see for this game. Finally decided to take a crack at this Mystic Knight playthrough I've been planning on for a long time. As you can see, we're right here at the start of Pitty Black Isle. I've used the same characters we were on before. I just used the mod to reset them back down to 10. So all we've done is the beginning area and just hopped over here to change our locations. Gonna run Mystic Knight and Sorcerer. Sorcerer bonds work quite well with Mystic Knight because they can trigger your Great Cannon very easily and just cause you to machine gun magic bullets out left and right. Now, Ranger bombs and Strider bombs also work really well for this because they will learn to actually fire their flurry skills into the cannon sigil, firing them out. So that's a lot of fun. But specifically, the best sorcerer skill for this is High Fulmination. It's where they get engulfed in that cloud of lightning and they just absolutely annihilate this ball while doing it. So hopefully she's going to do that for us. And I'm going to raise her as a quick cast sorceress. So if you notice, we didn't upgrade these two or Maelstrom, because going from the regular versions to the high, they don't really get all that much of a damage boost. But, well, in comparison to how much longer their cast time is, so it's better just to keep them the low versions. But High Miasma and Fulmination are very quick casting and get quite a substantial alteration in their high versions as opposed to their lower versions. And then an open slot just to throw in whatever. As for the Mystic Knight itself, we have a Great Cannon, Ruinous Sigil. This sets up a little trap on the ground. If a body comes in this circle, they basically start getting blown up for this. And then to fire the sigil is Full Moon Slash. Now this actually has some iframes on it. Sort of a very basic version of Dragon's Maw. But it's quicker and less stamina intensive. Of course, if you notice, I'm using stamina every time I attack. That's because this particular mace that I have on, Steel Beak, is a higher level weapon than what we are here at level 10. So just demonstrating that, you have to be careful if you go to an area and find too high level a weapon, it will drain away your stamina and not be very useful for you. Let's just grab a little iron sword. And now, as you see, we don't have that issue. So, Mystic Knights, key to them is they have their magic shield. Works just like a fighter shield pretty much, although the blocking is a bit different. Or perhaps it's just because you're having to pull it off your back as opposed to it already being on your left arm. It feels a bit different when it comes to perfect blocking things, or attempting to rather. Now, shield skill wise, you pretty much have a bunch of buff skills. So, a mistake that a lot make with Mystic Knight is to go and grab the trance skills. Yeah, these. Enchanter, and then the higher version is a trance. We'll grab the fire one just to demonstrate. That's weird. Okay, we'll swap out a bit to English. What's up with that? Yeah, that's the same. Alright, so people will slap on these trances because, oh, enchanting your weapons is pretty handy, and this enchants the entire party's weapons. However, it is a weaker version of the enchantment than a major sorcerer can cast, and it doesn't last nearly as long. But, as you can see, it has quite a substantial cast time as well, for not all that much gain. However, if you the riposte skills, watch how fast this casts. Now this will last a while, and now if we get perfect blocks off, not only will it do the normal reflect damage to an enemy, but it will zap them with whatever elemental spell we have attached to it. And for this, it basically casts 11 and can thunder shock them and knock them down. Or frost riposte. It does the same with freezing them. Very quick to cast. Last one, as you can see, the weapon enchant's already gone. So yeah, the ripostes are just much more bang for your buck overall. They if you can get good at perfect blocking, which is something we'll be working on, or attempting to work on at least, they can absolutely make enemies look foolish and just bleed through them really quickly. Now another skill that's really nice and what we had equipped. Also, for Bitter Black, typically run Frost and Thunder because they cover just about everything here for the most part. Because Fire is not that useful here, a lot of things resist it. Now in the base game, Fire is king, at least until you get to post game. Then Holy takes over, and Holy is still pretty useful here, but pretty much have room for two types of ripostes and Abyssal Anguish. Now this gives you a physical buff to your weapon. It adds a shockwave attack, which extends the length of your blows, and what it essentially does is, let's see if I can, okay, let's say, okay, let's say that was one hit. Well, it basically adds hit counts to each of your hard, your heavy blows. So instead of hitting once, maybe it hits twice, or even 3 times, because it adds little lingering hitboxes to your heavy blows with the shockwaves. So it's actually a massive damage increase. And these are, despite it being a magical buff, it, at least as far as I'm aware, buffs your physical damage, the physical part of your damage. Generally, Magic Knight, Mystic Knight, scales off of both strength and magic, damage-wise. Pretty much equal. Well, it depends on which skill, on whether it's weighted a bit heavier towards the magic or towards the physical. Like Great Cannon, I'm pretty sure is 60% magicka, 40% physical. Whereas Full Moon Slash will be entirely physical. And then Abyssal Language is physical. And then the Repose, those will be magical. Well, they'll be based off the magic and strength stat of your shield, your magic shield. Okay, so enough jibber jabber. I planned for this stream, we're going to take a little journey and I'm going to show you well, first we're going to go back to Grancis. We haven't even talked to her to open up the dungeon here yet. We should probably do that. Never mind, we have to actually walk there and trigger a cutscene. So, unlike last playthrough where we stayed away from this place until we finished both the story and the Everfall, we'll probably just jump back and forth on this one. There's no real reason to not sequence break a bit. I'm just going to open this up because it bugs me for some reason. Alright. So we're going to head back to Grancis. So we just talk to the last here. Back to Cassidy's. Why did we level up? Why are we leveling up? I don't understand. Just hold on a moment. Let me fix that. What's that doing open? I haven't done anything with that. All I do is this, pretty much. It's about all I know how to work. Okay. And that should have gotten us back to level 10. Right. So now we do the same with our pawn. Starter as a mage. I'll adjust this stuff as we get higher level. Okay. I think we should be good now, hopefully. Alright, now what we're planning to do here is, so Mystic Knight. As I mentioned, you scale off of both your strength and magic stat. So, enchanted weapons are very useful for you. So that's what we're going to do this stream. I'll show you where to go and find the enchanted swords. Well, for every element except holy and dark, because holy is post-game or bitter black, and there is no dark enchanted sword. But Abyssal Anguish doesn't give you dark enchantment, so it kind of covers that. There's also a dark riposte, but generally dark's not particularly important. Things that are weak to dark often are weak to ice as well. So yeah, that's going to be the plan for now. Let's go and talk to the lad here and pick up this quest. Why does he have max eviction? That doesn't make any sense. So I've played too much. Suppose we'll go in here and we'll grab some random pawns. Let's see, we have a sorcerer, mystic knight, so a yellow class. Maybe even a couple of them would be nice. We're all flying, aren't we? And we'll just grab these rando pawns. They're just to start us out until we can get. Yeah, we're playing offline for some reason. I'll have to fix that a bit. But okay. So, first order of business, the fire weapon, which has the lowest level requirement as well. Generally, by the time you get over there, if you're fighting, we're heading to Tomb of the Unknown Traveller. So we're going to have to take a little trip over here through these ungodly powerful bandits. Hopefully they won't gank us. And come over here. And we can find Eden's Ward and the Fire Enchanted Sword. Now, in the off chance that it didn't drop here, because you can also get a Flamberge, which is the Fire Enchanted Longsword, as well as the Scalding Razors, which are Fire Enchanted Daggers. Those three weapons can also be found in the Ancient Quarry, in a chest, next to one of the upper level ogres. Once we do that, we can go and the Ice Enchanted Sword and the Lightning Enchanted Sword can both be found in the same place, Soulflayer Canyon. So we'll head there as well. So yeah, we better get to hoofing it if we want this stream to be any reasonable length. Now, the reason we're going through showing you where these are, or going through the effort of collecting them, is it's very handy to be able to, I'm so used to having Bear Strike, being able to change elements, offensive element on the go, being able to just swap out your, we've already done that quest, haven't we? Yeah. No need to kill bugs anymore. It's very useful to be able to change elements on the go, so that way you don't have to, you don't need the trances, you don't need to slap all sorts of different elemental buffs on your poor mage or sorcerer to take up their actual damaging spell slots. That, and I'm pretty sure I went over this before, but giving a pawn more than one element to buff with at a time can confuse their AI There's the lightning longsword, malignant. Can't really grab those. Ah, almost feels nostalgic, even though it's not. I guess it was a while ago. We've been tinkering around with this streaming thing for a while. Blue Moon Tower off in the distance. Reminder that if you're wanting to complete your pawn's travel knowledge, you need to go in here before you open up this little shortcut, because it triggers a flag to give your pawns some travel knowledge. It's stored right over here, which is blocked by a wooden board. There we go. These randomly generated pawns just got travel knowledge they'll never use, because they're not actually someone's pawn. And again, this is a handy room to pick up some early money. What did that box do to you? Ah, wolves. It occurs to me that these two random level 10 pawns won't be the most useful thing in the world. So yeah, that's basically your bread and butter little setup there. You drop your Ruinous Sigil as sort of a keep away from me button, Great Cannon, and go to town with you. I'm so used to having Burst Strike. Not having a mobility skill is awkward. Oh, you can swap your sword out for a staff as well, like a mage staff. Completely forgot about that. And I definitely recommend carrying one around just to have the ability to levitate. That's pretty much all I use it for, honestly. Just for some extra mobility, because obviously you don't have your double jump like a magic archer does, or assassin, ranger, strider. Iron Snare. Sometimes forget that ability is even in the game. It's not the most useful thing in the world, unfortunately. Alright. Boy. There is something to be said about giving the pawns less than optimal skills just to make the fights more interesting. Like, that was some handy little combo play. She stopped him from a distance from firing his arrows. wrapping him up. Pulled him in for first attack part in melee range. Just not the quote-unquote optimal DPS way to do it. So could be there's a something. Ah, right, that one. All right, now here's the big one. Remember, these bandits for some reason are just several times stronger than the ones we just fought. That being said, look at that fire. Being out of stamina is no good in this situation. Are you that weak? Wait a minute. Is it you two? How did she get all the way down there? Make sure to save scum some more, because these next bunch are even stronger than that bunch. Now truthfully, you could just run past all these, but it's the archers that are the issue, since they can still one-shot you. Well, we have fairly good armor. We definitely don't have the armor that you should have at this point in the game. Where are you going, lad? Hello? Yeah, as you can see, they can take you down pretty... Oh, they're using snare as well. They can take you down pretty quickly. That's funny, that one kept running away. Okay. Also, that's what happens if you run out of stamina. If you run out of stamina and trying to block with your shield, your guard gets broken. And this also occurs if your shield doesn't have enough stability and you get hit by a blow that outranks said shield stability. Do I have any healing items for here? There we go. Okay. Now, unfortunately, there's nowhere in the game that actually tells you what your shield's stability actually is. Bugger. Ran out of stamina again. That is drawn, but Full Moon Slash uses a lot less stamina than Dragon's Maw, but it still, especially at this level, drains a great deal. It's mostly if we can keep our pawns up better as well. Okay, let's try this again. Let's actually not use Full Moon Slash this time, just to save stamina. Let's reapply a sigil. Another great cannon. Okay, now we can start going a bit silly over it. Why that was weird. It's like the AI broke. Okay, there we go. There's a fair big block. I was beginning to wonder if I could demonstrate that. Right, as she's doing, you can collect little herbs, well, little veggies that heal just a wee bit of health. This is definitely a system that they could expand a bit in the sequel, because they don't actually give you all that much. When they mold they get stronger, but start out with not so much. Let's go ahead and save again, because we have one more little. I think there should be some grapes in this. I don't. Guess they're over more over that way. I'm sure there are grapevines over here. And we just give these a rude awakening. Yeah, did you see those orbs being fired off like that just because of being in the miasma cloud? This is another reason why it's really nice. That skill's also extremely useful for inflicting debilitations on an enemy. Do I have Ward Crystal here? No, I have one there. Since we're here, we'll go ahead and grab these little quest items. I think I pointed out before, but that sense a bird nearby. Something bigger than a bird. That's a reference to a griffin or a cockatrice, depending on what point of the game you're at. Of course, the griffin doesn't start appearing until you get a bit later in the story. So it's a bit funny, a bit awkward that they say it now. That's for delivery quest. Remember, there's a Wakestone shard right over there. I think it's here. Maybe it's a different one of these. No, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be over here. Maybe it only appears when he leaves. Like he drops it or something. That'd be interesting. And then the other thing is here, the Salamit's Grimoire. No double jump, no levitate needed. Just have to work your way up to these things. See, it will be up here when you have the quest. I thought it was always here. Maybe in the base game before Dark Arisen it was. Very strange. Could have sworn that it had already disappeared. Let's see, how do we want to... I feel like that should have broke our fall a bit better than that, but what are you gonna do? I'm gonna raid them for some securities, I guess. Okay, we pretty much have a free stretch over to Tomb of the Unknown Traveler over there. Well, we can take over these Saurians if we like. I suppose it wouldn't hurt. How are those two south? Not the best. Now, point of warning about the... Why are they doing that? I don't understand. How bizarre. Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. Oh, she might have a weapon that's too high level for her. Right. I forgot I reset her levels. That could explain it. So the... Are you alive or dead? Alright. Easy enough. R, you got hit by the speed. That's actually good. My pawn might not even have had that knowledge because I don't think any of us got hit by it before. Certain abilities like that that cause debilitations, you have to let someone in your party be afflicted by it for pawn knowledge. If they're immune to it, they won't get the knowledge, unfortunately. Or if everyone's immune to it, rather. It has to actually inflict. These two random pawns, I almost feel sorry for them. They're so out of sorts. How did... Should be Getting near the goblins and hobgoblins now. That should be, yeah. Cheeky blighter, look at him go. This is why burst strikes handy. Wait, where'd the little ones come from? She really likes that bowlight spell. Wait, what did you get hit by that poisoned you? Keep sounding like they're whipping their weapons out. Oh, here's some grapes. Those heal fairly well, especially when moldy. Okay, the tomb isn't too far now. Now, since this is a new game, plus we have the Quartz Bane in our inventory, we also have this, although we haven't progressed far enough in the story. You have to go to Grand Soren for the first time before it actually allows you to start fast traveling. So we're hoofing it for now. But yeah, since this is a new game plus, we have access to God's Bane. No, I should be sharing this on. Didn't quite let it full charge, but that's fine. Where did that one go? This isn't the end. I feel like I'm having weird bugs I've never seen before in this game. See, this is interesting because it looks like one of those weapon piles, but one of those gathering weapon piles, but doesn't seem to be the case. Breach. Reminder, there is a golem over here, and we definitely want to fight a golem because my pawn and I are the only ones that are going to actually do damage, and we're both magic based, or in my case partially magic based. And reminder, golems take pretty much nil magic damage. Metal golems even less so. They're functionally immune to at least the magic stated part of the magic. They can only be damaged by spells that have a physical component like Borrelight and Giselle. So we need to very carefully skirt around. Save. Alright. Now here, that was the worst thing you possibly could have gotten. An enchanted steel greatsword. Now, if you don't have God's Bane, you can off yourself just for doing this. I thought you could. There should be... Wait a minute. Now, there's supposed to be a ledge that you can drop down and die on. Wait, where are we? RSS, where are we? Alright, maybe this is the spot. You just keep dropping down until you kick it. But most it's making your way that long. It shouldn't take too long because there's not many things that can actually be in that weapon pile. We just keep going until we find Eden's Warden. Amusingly enough, it's just a fire enchanted version of the Iron Sword, which is the sword that I've been using. Alright, come on. Now you're just being cheeky. This is nowhere near as bad as trying to reset Goldsbane Farm there before. Okay. Things are getting a bit strange here. 3 times in a row is some pretty poor luck. Eden's Warden and no. Okay, hold on a bloody minute. This is weird. Yeah, there are 3 different options that it can have. The Steel Greatsword, which we've seen, Scalding Razors, or Eden's Warden. It's very odd, we've not even seen the razors. Oh well, guess you're getting to see more of my luck in action. Okay game, it's not funny anymore. This isn't some 2% nonsense like Everfall loot. Did I accidentally break something in this game? I'm starting to wonder. Oh, I suppose another thing, you can activate the golem and just have him kill you if you don't have God's Bane. That's another thing you can do. Especially if you're doing this early in the game, it won't take long for him to get you. So there's that option. Okay, finally something different. So it is just my luck. Nothing's weird, wonky, and broken. So that's good to know. I was starting to be concerned. It's just the wrong enchanted weapon there. Right, back to the great sword, of course. I must say, it is very unusual that it's being this stubborn. Because the odds aren't terrible to get it. Like the steel greatsword is obviously the most common thing in the pile. But the other two have a decent shot as well. Hope the All Mace and the Khalidborg didn't go like this. This stream's going to be like 6 hours long of me just stabbing myself in the chest over and over. I promise he can be found in this pile. There's already video evidence on YouTube about it, actually. There we go. So this is Eden's Warden. As you can see, it looks identical to the sword we just got, except it's permanently enchanted in fire. So what this means is our attacks are going to have fire to them. But it also means our Ruinous Sigil and our Great Cannon will as well. Now they don't look it, they look neutral still, but they will have fire damage to them. So, say she had the fire buff, I had the fire trance, and I manually enchanted my weapon. Well, there'd be a red tinge to these to show the enchantment, but when it's perma enchanted like these weapons, it doesn't actually change in appearance, but it does acquire the element nonetheless. Just probably go ahead and save again in case they go and wakes up and decides to blow us up with his laser beam. I'd fight him, but I need to acquire some better support bombs. Because these two are just too squishy. We will go over here and take down these hobgoblins now. So next we're going, let's make a quick pit stop here, pick up some hopefully better bombs, and then we'll work our way through. We'll have to open up the quarry again because this is a new game plus. We'll go through there, we'll head up to the Starflare Canyon, grab our lovely lightning and ice swords. Cheeky blighter. Throwing those rocks. Oh, there's a chest over here. I'm not sure I've ever came to this exact spot. Yeah, it's not a particularly fancy chest, unfortunately. Let's see. You can do it. That's a good last. Okay, this should show it. Yeah, notice the fire as it made contact with him. So, proof of concept. Just some visual confirmation. It's starting to get a wee bit dark, so might as well whip this out. I'm not certain if that was fire enough to splat, but okay. Do we want to do this fight here tonight? With those two? Honestly, it should be fine. Let's have a nice sword now. Now, Cyclopes are weak to lightning, not fire. So it is a shame we don't have that particular sword. Seem to have gotten stuck. Bugger. I need stamina. That is definitely a weakness with early level. Mystic Knight is burning stamina, but Ranger and Strider have the same issue. Oh, that did not do particularly aggressive damage. Oh, he's on fire at least. Where'd those two go? What's we say? This one must be knackered. Yeah, he's an angry lad. Now the other one's tired. There we go. Oh, I suppose one thing I should, seeing this bloke have the armor on, reminded me. So, Mystic Knight can wield swords, staves, and maces. Just like a warrior can wield longsword or warhammers. Yeah. Maces slash hammers are blunt weapons, whereas obviously the swords are slash type. Cutting weapons. So certain enemies will take extra damage or resist certain times. For example, skellies and heavily armored enemies that have like breakable armor sort of gimmicks will be weakest to blunt. And then other things will be weak to slashing, cutting. That wasn't too bad. Did less damage than I would have liked, but that's because this sword's completely unupgraded. That and our level's still quite low. Now there's the Chimera over here. Maybe a bit too soon to fight that, or these two at least. They are weak to fire though, so we can actually damage them pretty handily. Let's kill some of these. Wow, said we would. Just don't have much magic damage right now. Killing that bloody thing gave like a quarter of the EXP that killing one of the Cyclops gave. That's pretty interesting. Come back, huh? This is a nice place to train, just because you can just sit in a healing spring and enemies will just keep coming to you. So you can't really die. Oh, that's That's an interesting one to cast. Wait, where are we? Okay. Just need to hit the road. Chimera will be around. Like it. Yeah, around there. Oh, I accidentally cast today. Post. Well, that came out of nowhere. I thought we had all of them. Oops.
どうやら魔物以外にも動物がいますね。盗賊や行商人も訪れないせいか、珍しい素材や魔物が多いようです。
These down here, probably. Oh, that's still the hot spring. Ah, there it is. Okay. There we go. So as you see, she started casting High Fulmination and poor bugger just melted. Even though he's not particularly weak to lightning. Well, he is vulnerable to magic in general, but especially fire. But did you see how quickly those bolts were just firing off? That'll do it. You should see a dragon farming with Mystic Knight and Hourly Riposte. Basically cast Great Cannon and Hourly Riposte, and then trick him into using Holy Fear on you, and then keep perfect blocking the Führer, and this is Annihilation. So that's all of them this time. Someone down there. Well, a bit embarrassed that missed. Did you have to cast a tornado? So yeah, just a reminder of what the downside of that spell is. It will completely block your vision if you're not careful. Fighting a bunch of small enemies, that's fine though, because it'll slurp them up and throw them around. They can't really fight back. But if you're fighting a big boss monster and they cast that, you can't see what's happening, then you could be in a bit of a mess. It is a very powerful spell though. Definitely not going to tango with that Drake over there. For one, this is a completely unupgraded weapon, and it's fire, and he's pretty much immune to fire. the damage would actually be laughable. Pretty sure we would kill him from laughing so hard. Alright. Since we've not been to Grand Soren, there won't be a resting spot here. Ferric Talon is the enchanted version of... Oh, guess it isn't. Huh. It's definitely the one that has a fire enchanted version. I'm fairly certain. What was the Ferric Talon? Reminder, if you like the look of red leather gear, this is where you can find that. Already has the gloves and the hat, but not the chest piece or the boots. Alright, no, the boots are there. That's interesting. Why doesn't he have the chest piece? No, it won't be long that he will. So let's make a connectivity online and pick up some pawns that actually have a pulse instead of the randomly generated ones. Same as before, we're looking for yellow pawns. Still have no idea who that is. None at all. Okay, you're on the current ones. See the blue now. Well, this one will at least be moderately tanky because of the Queen's clothing. Actually, let's see. Top range. Well, that's 11. Let's see. Just want yellow glasses. Okay, looks like level 40. Level 35. Okay, we want blue. It'll be a bit before we can start grabbing them off that list. Of course, to be fair, it's not guaranteed that they're raised well on that list either. You have chilling daggers and Skull Splitter, Mad Dash. That's a bit awkward. Like, this is fine. It needs to be upgraded though. I take it they've not taken this pawn off of Strider yet. Interior. Wait. Okay, those aren't the Ice Enchanted daggers. I thought they were glowing blue, but I guess I'm just blind.
何かご用ですか？これ以上は連れて行きません。誰かと入れ替えてください。よろしくお願い。またお会い。
So long. What are you having? Same stuff, pretty much. Well, actually, search. So, Casey's Dawson Trigger. Don't even have threefold. That one does. Kind of feel like this one hasn't even bothered teaching the pawn anything. It's a ranger. Well, the other one was a stridus. I guess we could grab a ranger. Okay. Completely. Okay, what do we have? These rangers here. Puzzles as to how they have sixfold and tenfold so quickly. I guess we'll see. Okay. Wait, what's your equipment? Oil daggers or oily stilettos. That's don't care for that. That's worthless, especially for a pawn. They can already aim really well. It's sort of like giving prescience to increase the perfect block frames when fighter pawns already perfect block like gods. As long as they have proper knowledge about the enemy they're fighting. So this one's never been anything but a ranger. I guess that explains some stuff. Okay, what about this one? The same. Sure. Okay, alright. Let's make ourselves dizzy by spinning the camera around too much. Okay, let's find those last two weapons. Demonstrate where they are. Hopefully those two will be stout enough to handle these ogres. Also, it's a shame he's not here. Although, we wouldn't be able to gather equipment. Regardless. Because you can only send equipment. You can't take it back. Do you have your lantern? Oh, he's about to get whacked. Where'd you come from? Oh. That's how she jumped and used a heavy attack there. That's probably my fault. It's fine, mate. Got the job done. You don't really want your sorcerer jumping though all that much. Let's getting light again? No.
魔物の寝床が近くにあります。気づかれぬようにしましょう。
Okay, the entrance should be over here.
が多いと厄介ですね。付近に休む場所もあったはずです。こんな場所があるとは。
どうやら外に通じているようです。
巨人族です。気をつけて。
ショックを受けている。捕まらないよう注意。
興奮しているようですね。ヤツは最初の騎士より強豪です。捕まるときは気をつけて。
Yeah, ogres really don't like fire. As you can see. Or even wait about. See if I can get the little cheeky kill on this one. It always depends on where he's positioned. Almost. Okay, and right up here is the second easy to find chest that can have Eden's Warden. I don't know why I say that, I'm not going to reset for this one, but this one can also have Eden's Warden and scalding razors and the like. So do be aware of that. Okay, we have one more to kill.
何かあるようです。
Notice how the sigil is only on that plane, it doesn't go really up or down. Really only comes into play on those funky ledges like that. But now you know, I suppose. Somebody on fire.
力を合わせた結果です。
こちら側からでは当てられないようですね。行き止まりのようです。これは入手しておきます。
Thought that I'm still alive.
ご苦労様です。
我々の勝利です。力を合わせた結果です。
Reminder, you have to open this standing on that little bugger. You can also trick the ogre onto it and it'll instant open because they're chunky little buggers. There's the ogre.
好戦的な獣人です。
Wait, where is he? Seriously? Oh, hello. Playing peekaboo, are you? Oops. Not quite in range. Yeah, you can pretty much just spam ruin his sigil and kill him that way. It's pretty easy.
我々の勝利です。力を合わせた
Miasma melts in as well. Reminds Sarah and Bros you'll meet right here.
何かあるようです。
Handy for a quest. Let's go ahead and open this up.
扉を開ける仕掛けがあるような気がします。フィールドの知識を
Why, have you never been here before? Oops. My mistake. I feel like around level. I guess a normal player that's properly going through the game would come through here about. If they're playing on hard mode, you'd probably be around level 30 as opposed to 20. Really depends on which worm hunt quest you go on first. Why, it's only one of them? Hopefully a couple of them popped up right there. Yeah, just as a reminder, if you're coming through the proper way, your pawn will, or a pawn that has knowledge of this area, will suggest, oh, some rotten meat or a corpse or something could, left out as bait, could distract the ogre and allow you to open up that presser plate. Well, that's what it means, is killing that undead right over there. Because the lad will go over there and start munching away on that, while you take the main path. And there's no need going through there, I suppose. Might as well grab that for you. There's usually one more skulking around back here, but I think we got him. Oh, liquid vein. Reinforced longbow. Normally that's, I think it's 1,000 troops. Alright, we didn't grab that yet. Oh, it's actually good that we didn't grab that yet. I think we're lost here. Yeah, I've never seen that be something besides that particular Mystic Knight weapon. Oh, lantern seems to be out of oil. We'll have to fix that here in a moment. Wait a minute, do we even... No one's picked up any oil. That's unusual, actually. It's quite unusual. Let's this should get them even more travel knowledge, but I think it may be marked up since we went in here backwards. But when we come through with their players, they should pick up the rest pretty easy if they explore at all. Yeah, that's the key. Of course, we're not going to bother with it just yet. We have stuff to share after all. I thought I put that away already. I guess I didn't.
採石跡の段差は足場として利用できそうですよ。
Need a place where I can change equipment. But unfortunately, we can't go into Grand Soren right now because we haven't done the quest that opens the gate yet. Pretty sure we could just go up there and it won't let us interact with the gates.
入手した
Fairly certain that's how it works, certainly not. I could be mistaken though. Suppose we could check. It has been a long time since I tried that. Very long time. Oh right, there was a quest to kill spiders. I knew that the entire time, so I came here. Not really. I don't tell anyone.
注意を。待て、鎧をどうにかしましょう。
力を合わせた結果です。我々の勝利です。人の住んでいた痕跡もあるようですね。道が分かれています。
道を外れると魔物が潜んでいますよ。
Ah, please.
この辺りでゴブリンの待ち伏せに注意です。
See, the goblin ambush they were talking about is the one we just went through. It is amusing when they have scripted dialogue. Well, general dialogue that describes things only going that only apply to you if you're going in a particular direction. But if you're going the other way, it's like, wait a minute,
城壁の中
it's
に
a
は
bit late, isn't it?
旅の拠点として利用しましょう。かつての戦いでこの辺りの家屋や城壁も失われています。
衝撃か何かの跡でしょうか。
I'm so used to being at Mark's level, I've just completely lost the ability to pay attention to my stamina. If you notice, that's what keeps happening to me, fortunately. That and Mystic Knight has dreadful stamina growth. Let's see. Will it let me in?
離れろ。
Yeah, didn't think so. Alright, that's the way it goes. Let's head on to Soulflare Canyon. There you go, neglecting my stamina again.
すべての街道はこの領土に通じているようですね。
Now the question is, do we... That's not what we do. Do we go through here and kill this Chimera? It's quickest just to follow the road. But We already killed a Chimera, so I've killed plenty of Chimeras on stream. I really need to show him off too much right now, I suppose. The whole point of this one was to show the locations of the weapons. Oh, speaking of, so Calibald is the Lightning Enchanted Sword, and it can be found in here, as well as Ormace, the Frost Enchanted one, and also the strongest enchanted sword that's not holy, because there are only 2 enchanted swords stronger than Ormace. And that's Ascalon and Cursed Light, and they're both wholly enchanted. However, Calibald can also be found here at Smuggler's Pass, and in a chest on top where most of the bandits are, around here where the golem is. So you can also find it in a chest there. I'm not going to go over there and show you, because frankly that's a bit silly to go all the way over there to get it when you can get both it and Ormace here in Solflea Canyon, which is a much easier place to access. Work smarter, not harder after all, as they say. Oh yeah, the quest down to wolves as well. I need to actually pay attention to that stuff. They're quite weak to fire. Wait a minute. Do I? Oh, I probably hadn't even picked it up. Oops. Some sulfur lizardmen up here. Camouflage with a riverbed. Right over there. Just around this bend. Enough for my grass. It's not really useful. That's right, block. That's a good lad. So yeah, whether you want to play ranged Mystic Knight, which is this little turret setup, or with the Repost and Abyssal Anguish, and just go to Perfect Block City. Mystic Knight's quite strong, so it's quite confusing. You will often see comments kind of putting it down. I feel like a lot of it is just them misunderstanding things about the skills. That and focusing on the chances as opposed to the riposte. Honestly, that's probably a lot of it.
武器を持っている腕を狙いましょう。今後を何とかしてみます。
Let's go. Boy. Okay, this is not good. Get in the bush, can't see anything. Okay, let's see if I can find my way. Can you kindly stop being... Come on, lad. Come on before she electrocutes you again. Oi, oi! Okay, I need to be careful now. That was weird. So, actually, let's see what they do. What skills does Jane have? Fulmination should do pretty good damage, especially now that the armor's broken off. Well, if you'll get close enough to be hit by it. Ha! Why is that not hit again? What's going on here? Let's try this. Okay, that's hitting. I guess it just glitched out a bit because of this roll. Ground being a bit uneven. Uh-oh, picked up his club. I need to learn how to do... There's a way to snap turn around. That's the reason I wasn't healing, because I had a hunch that we were about to level. There's a way to do a quick turnaround with the perfect block, but I haven't really broken down and tried to figure out how to do it yet. Really should do that sometime. Keep getting distracted with other stuff, obviously. Okay, we're pretty close to Soulflare Canyon now. In fact, the entrance is just there. Wait. Yeah. That's the way we'll go around. There's no sense in going all the way up to the encampment. There you go. There's a... I cannot get used to not having Blitz straight. It's really becoming quite a thing. Let's go ahead and save here. Because if the Chimera joins in while we're fighting these bandits, could get a bit hairy. Come on down. Yeah, here they are. Okay. Looks like we have stamina. So right there. Also ones. The lion's dead. That's rare. I miss this over. Right, let's into this. Badly horns and lines. She's sort of right by. Where'd she go? Right there. How did you get that far? Dire, that's what it was. Basically a crit shot. Sends you flying. That's what those bandits down in the southwest do. The archers. They're just so dangerous. That one probably should have flown away while it had the chance. Okay, so down there are some more sulfur isn't there? Oh. Shame for you, your wings are too big though. Mountain. Splat. Oops. So here, what can you find in there? Actually, drawing a bit of a lane. Oh. Okay, fire killed him. Now hopefully none of... Oh, so right here right over there
パーリザードマンです
is the chest that has colored ball but can't have it. So we need to take these buggers out.
下に手を出さないで
Save. Make sure to save. And hope for Kelly Ball. Well, it's that time again, kids. There's an auto button I need to press.
しっかりしてください
This one I remember, Malignance is the
ファンタズムがいますね
seemingly most common draw.
中は何でしょう
So now we're going to get everything even that just to prove me wrong.
目を開けてください
I can already tell you all mace is a 15% chance when we go to its chest, which isn't too far away. So there's Malignance. Malignance is lightning and or ice enchanted. Apologies, longsword. I keep thinking it's lightning enchanted because it's next to Caliburg, which is the lightning enchanted sword. Incidentally, the robe I'm wearing for chest piece is also found in the same chest that all maces. Okay, now you're getting silly. So you can find it from there as well. Pretty good robes for any blue class. Also, if you want to reset quickly, you can leap from the top
ファンタズムがいます
up the
雷の対策をしておきま
up
しょう
there. Because I don't think we'll test it for you. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's the same issue down here with the water and the brine. Quote unquote rescues you.
各社様無事戻られましたねもう各社様
They put you down here at
しっかりしてください目を開けてください
Leaper's Ledge. That's an interesting spot to put you.
ファンタズムがいますね雷の対策をしておきましょう
Hopefully this one doesn't take nearly as long as the other one did. I did say that this is really handy for Mystic Knight, and it's handy to fully upgrade all of these and carry them with you at all times, so you can freely swap element whenever you like. Offensive element, since you can already just swap your defensive one with the your
ファ
posts.
ンタズムがいますね雷の対策をしておきましょう
But you can do it as fighter as well, or assassin, because assassin can wield swords. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I went a little over the difference between slashing or cutting and blunt damage, but maces and hammers also generally have slightly higher physical attack overall than swords do, the sword variants do.
ファンタズムがいますね
But
対策をしておきましょう
alright, that's Malignance, that's not valuable.
あるようです
I just saw her weapon and I was like, there we go.
目を開けてください
But it was wrong. However, they are just a bit, well, they're heavier for one, and they also swing just a bit slower. It's not a great deal, but there is a difference. It's definitely noticeable. Okay. Game just really wants to give us money, it appears. Like Kaliborg is one of my least used of the enchanted weapons, for whatever reason. All this being said, you could basically play the Mystic Knight sort of like a pseudo fighter and use the level 3 Beta Black Isle mace, which has just an insane amount of strength. Like just by itself, fully upgraded, it gives 2,000, over 2,000 strength. It's a bit bonkers, considering 2,500 strength is what you need to hit to break all the defensive thresholds in hard mode in the game. Physical defensive thresholds. It pretty much and then the vehemence and clout augments essentially do it by themselves for you, even if you as a character inherently had 0 strength. It's a bit bonkers. And what you would do is you would just you'd grab like Burst Strike, probably Full Moon Slash, of course. You use official language and you just go wail on stuff. Yeah, it seems our luck is going the way that Eden's Warden did. It's a shame, but it happens all too often. Honestly, if you can survive this, it's pretty much the place to go. The early game to pick up some nice gear. Well, nice weapons at least. It's definitely... It's kind of cleverly crafted because when you're naturally progressing, if you're just not really exploring and are following where the story takes you, and you don't come up here until it's time to fight the dragon, really, or very near it. And the equipment that it drops here is just perfect to take you into that final fight. Like, he's weak to ice, for example, and you can grab All Mace, which is a nice enchanted sword. And that wrecks poor Grigori quite pretty heavily. Okay, game. Starting to get a bit silly.
ファンタズムがいますね。雷への対策をしておきましょう。
しっかりしてください。
Let me check something. Quickly. So there are two items this chest can drop that we haven't seen yet. One of which is Scarlet Bulg, of course, and the other is Argents. Argents is Argents. Not sure exactly which. I forget which, really. It is an upgrade material for some pretty nice equipment from what I recall. It's exceedingly rare as well, but this is the place where you get a lot of it. I think you can actually drop from the living armors, if I'm not mistaken. There we go, finally, Calibur. So here's your Thunder Sword. It's a cutlass that's lightning enchanted. Now, we're not going to actually use it just yet because there's still some phantasms around. They're immune to lightning. That and some other harpies that are still around are weak to fire. But we can use it against these goblins, I suppose. Since they're quite vulnerable to all sorts of good stuff. Lots of medical supplies right here. Didn't think I pointed that out before. So feel free to grab those if you like. Let's go back to Eden's Warden. Now, once all three swords of these swords are fully upgraded, gold rarefied, they will be. Oh, there's some margins. They will be quite comparable in stats. Whereas at the base, Eden's Warden sort of lags behind the other two. Of course, the Harley swords just skunks them stat-wise pretty heavily, especially Cursed Light. Ascalon is a decent bit stronger than they are, but not some absolutely insane amount. Okay, that should have worked for the other two pawns. Alright, we're to the area. where we can get Ascalon. First things first, this weapon pile right here can have kunai, which is dark enchanted daggers. And from memory, there are only 2 dark enchanted weapons in the entire bloody game, and that's those kunai daggers, which we didn't get, and one of these staves, Stagnant Surge, I think it's called, which you can get in the back area of the Witchwood. So this chest can have Terminal Gaia, the robe that I'm wearing, or All Mace. And it's a 15% chance for All Mace. I think it's the most rare drop here. Ah, there it is. All Mace is a closed Kincaid that's frost enchanted. And personally, I think it's the prettiest of the 3 non-holy enchanted swords. It's quite lovely. Also decent Gawain spots, so you get tokens, you can grab a bunch of those. Some of these have Alchemical Hosen, which is red tides. Yeah, into that sort of thing. This chest always has a triple tooth in it, which is a fairly stout warhammer. Let me grab onto the ledge, right? This can have various things. I think it can have Griffith Cloak in it. Or is it the Harpy Cloak? I think it's the Griffith Cloak that can have. Which you'd think would only be found in the Blue Moon Tower. Well, besides shops. But alright, that's how you get the 3 enchanted swords. Or the 3 base game or main story enchanted swords. All Mace can also be found fairly early on in Bitter Black Isle, I believe. I don't think it's too deep in there. I'll have to double check. And we'll have wait, where are they? Iron Fen. What was that? So yeah, so to get Ascalon, your first shot at a highly enchanted sword, Unfortunately, you get that from fighting the Ur Dragon. Now, luckily, it's one of the 3 weapons that can drop from offline Ur Dragon, so you don't have to get the big boy. You can do it with the small one. And if you want to get it before going to post-game Everfall, then I'm afraid you'll have to sequence break and go to Bitter Black Isle before doing that sort of thing. Because level 2 Cursed weapons can drop Cursed Light. And that's the strongest enchanted sword in the game. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show for this stream. So now I have to get all the way back to Cassidy/Bitter Black. I won't put you through that because we have to earth it, fortunately. Since again, fast travel doesn't unlock until you hit Grandsis, or Grand Soren rather. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up here. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope I went over new things here instead of going over stuff that I went over on the last series playthrough of this game. Guess we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that'll be it for now. So see you next time.